Check it out, y'all. Turkeys. Look at that turkey right there. Get out of the way. You're gonna get. Oh my God, he's trying to crap on me. Man, did you see that? I got an idea. Instead of putting all these monies into drones to get aerial shots of motovloggers, why don't we just tie a tiny camera onto a turkey? That would have worked perfectly right there. So I'm trying to find a quiet spot with good lighting so I can show you all the latest mods I did to Ned's WR. Basically, I'm trying to solve a very specific problem. Because there's days like today where I just kind of go out and, you know, the motorcycles hadn't been on for a while and I know they need some maintenance. So I just fire them up and take them out for a little maintenance ride. And on more than one occasion I've been putting around town and I said to myself, I want a burrito. I think, alright, that's a great idea. I'll just go get a burrito and then I'll take it to the park, or I'll take it back home and I'll watch some NASCAR and eat my burrito. And then I realize I'm not wearing a backpack because it's just a little ride around town. Don't really need a backpack. And I got no kind of storage situation on the bike, so that means I just go without a burrito. So the problem I'm trying to solve is hauling a burrito on a dual sport. I know some of you are thinking, well, just get some saddlebags or something, right? And neither I nor Ned really want to junk up the beautiful lines of this WR with a whole bunch of luggage. So we hadn't been really inclined to do that. Plus, both of us are a little bit too heavy for this bike, and if we had luggage on it, it'd probably end up collecting up a bunch of crap we don't really need and just making the weight problem even worse. So I just need something that's just big enough to hold a dang burrito on a dual sport motorcycle. And when I get up here to a good spot, I'll show you exactly what I did to solve that problem. Looks like a good spot. Nobody's using this right now. Perfect. So there's my solution. I call it the burrito tube. So basically, whenever I need to haul a burrito, I just take the lid off of it, slide the burrito in there, put the lid back on, take the burrito home and watch some NASCAR. This right here is a 3.5-inch exhaust pipe clamp, and then these right here are just some steel loop clamps. And I just use the bolts that came with the exhaust pipe clamp, and there it is. So I'll show you this side here. You can see up in there. I don't think the tire is gonna have any chance of hitting it. I'll show you from the back. It doesn't stick out any further than the exhaust pipe, and if I do crash on it, and I will sooner or later, it gives enough where it'll push in, but it's not going to move for any other reason. So these things right here, some people call them tool tubes, and what they really are, where I found it, is it was a owner's manual canister for tractors, and you can get them at places that sell tractor parts for like $5. And the exhaust clamp was $10, and these little loop things, these are the hardest to find, because I had to find some that were big enough for these bolts to get through. Right there, you see them bolts right there? So I had to get some that are big enough for these bolts to get through. And now that I've done it, I don't know, I think it could be done a little better. Like, you see these little metal slugs in here inside these clamps? These are kind of heavy. And you know, basically all you're doing here is hanging a pipe. If you go to the hardware store, they got lots of pipes and lots of things to hang them. So I think if you could go to the electrical or the lumber section and just find a good pipe hanger, you can maybe find something that'll do the job just as good, that's lighter. And another idea I had is you can get loop clamps that are made for zip ties. So I'll have Ned put the links to the zip tie style loop clamps And maybe one of y'all can figure out a good way to do the same thing with zip ties. Show you another thing is on this tube, it comes with a bunch of yellow paint on it, describing it as a owner's manual canister. So I used some acetone to get all the writing off of the lid and off the sides. It also had brackets molded onto it, like right there and right there. And so I dremeled the brackets off because I didn't need them. But them brackets might be useful for your application. Another thing I'd suggest doing is putting just a little something at the bottom of this to kind of dampen vibrations on whatever you stick in there. I just put an oil rag because you can always use an oil rag. And I also have my 5mm Allen wrench down at the bottom. It lays flat. And usually when I got to work on this bike on the trail, this is the only thing I need. So I figure if I'm going to have one thing on here, it'll be that. You'll notice I had to take off the stock toolkit. And I'll probably eventually put a little pack right here that has better tools in it to replace that. So yeah, there you go, there's a Burrito tube. I'll have Ned put links in the description on all these parts, where to find them. Because I said the tube itself was only $5. And I think it'll hold a 30-ounce fuel canister, which I did some math, and on this bike that's good for an extra 12 to 14 miles of range. And you could also put a bottle of water in it, which I'm kind of interested in trying, because when I ride, the only thing heavy in my pack is my tools and my water. So if I put my bottle of water in that, and I get a little pack up here for my tools, I won't have anything heavy in my backpack. That'd be really nice. So anyways, let's go test it out. Alright, we're at the Qdoba. Now you notice I didn't have to take my helmet lock off for the Burrito tube. I'm not going to lock my helmet up right now because it's just going to be a minute. Alright, let's see how the Burrito tube works. Perfect. I'm gonna do with this thing. I got it. There. Alright, well I guess the only thing left to do then is to road test it. So this is the pavement test of the Burrito tube. Seems to do just fine on pavement so far. Because I guess I don't know for really sure until I actually get the Burrito out of the tube. Alright, here comes the highway test of the Burrito tube. I'm going to get on Interstate 70. Make sure it can hold up to all the rigors of an interstate, including high speeds. Alright, I am currently going almost 70 miles per hour. There's 70 right there with a Burrito in the Burrito tube. By the way, Ned wanted me to do like a step-by-step on how to install the tool tube, and I ain't gonna do that. It's 2 bolts. If you can't figure it out, you're a moron. Stop riding motorcycles. You're gonna get yourself killed. Alright, here comes the off-road test for the Burrito tube. Now let's talk a little bit about how to order a burrito, because now you can't just order any old burrito, especially if you're going to put it in a burrito tube. So first of all, let's talk about rice and beans. Those are gross, okay? Don't put rice or beans in your burrito, okay? Rice and beans is food that only exists because poor people needed a way to make food, and it's peasant food, all right? We don't need to be eating rice and beans in our burritos. So when you go to Qdoba, tell them no rice, no beans. They always act surprised. I don't know why. Why would you want that awful stuff in your burrito? Get double chicken. get pico de gallo, and then get some lettuce and maybe some cheese. Now, I was tempted to get the queso. I mean, if I was going to stay there and eat it, I would get the queso. But since I'm putting it in a burrito tube, I don't want any queso. I just want regular shredded cheese. That way it's less likely to leak. Just in case y'all didn't know, queso means Mexican cheese. And this road's pretty bumpy today. This is going to be a good burrito test. Okay, now we're going to do a buffalo test. There's a herd of buffalo over there. I'm riding awfully close. If the burrito tube does its job, it will conceal the smell of the burrito and stop them from chasing me. There's a big boy right there by the fence. Alright, I didn't even see them buffalo looking at me. So the burrito tube is past the buffalo test. Alright, I found me a picnic table. Get my burrito out. Man, it looks just fine. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be an awesome burrito. Don't you go anywhere. Crap. I just realized something. I need to put a hot sauce tube on it too.